guys, welcome back to the channel. So right here we have Ruby all covered up, but today what we're going to be doing is get this off. What we're going to be doing today is working on the new trunk setup, because yeah I've literally had all this stuff just thrown in here for the last few, I have no idea how long it's been, but ever since I added the second compressor, yeah, I had to get rid of the old wood floor that I had. But I have a shit ton of rags in here and a bunch of cleaning supplies that I use. So we're gonna get all this stuff out of here. We're gonna leave the tank compressors, and I think there's like a bunch of amps, OEM stuff that's on here, and then we'll start laying out a new plan for this trunk setup, because I definitely want to get this done before Weekfest. All right, so we got everything cleared out now, out of the way. We got extra more lines need to come out. Okay, this kind of like clears up a lot of it. Always got to have extra air lines just in case. But okay, that definitely clears out a lot more. We are going to be replacing the tank. We're not going to be using this tank anymore. We're going to be using a new tank that George powder coated for me, that's slightly more shorter and stubbier, but definitely will fit a lot better in the back. Now we're going to be throwing in the OEM plastics trims that go here and here, because we need to cover that up. We don't want to move any of this stuff. This is for the XM radio, which I don't even use anymore. I don't even know if it's like still works. I could probably just toss this out or something. And yeah, so we got all these brackets here holding these amplifiers or whatever these are. I'm pretty sure this is the amplifier for the Bose system, but yeah, so definitely don't want to get rid of that. So we're gonna put the OEM plastics back on. Let's get the air tank out of the way. Let's make sure the tank is empty. Pretty sure water is gonna, yep, bunch of water. This is why you gotta empty out your tank every now and then. It's quite a bit of water, but it's okay. All right, tank is emptied out now. So let's get this removed. Let's get these parts removed. Get the tank out of the way. We're probably gonna pull out the compressors too. I wanna make the whole floorboard good to go before I throw these things back in here. So let me get these things out and then we'll start from there. All right, here we have it. Tank is out. Look at that. Oh my god. That's why you gotta drain out your tank. I haven't done it in months, but luckily, you know, we don't get freezing cold weather where the water actually freezes, so that's why it's not too bad on when you live here in Cali. But water trap is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, because there's a bunch of water in here. All right, so now we got more space to work with here. All right, so luckily found both of them. Good thing I never threw these out. At one point I was gonna throw them out, but I kept them just in case. So I'm gonna wipe these down because they are super dirty, and then we're gonna throw them back in. All right, so I know this one goes on top of this, but I want to see. This one's for the drain. This one is for one of the front left. This is the empty, and this one goes to the tank. That. Okay. And this drain, let's put it. So it comes out through here. All right, so there's one. Kind of okay in there. Let's get the tank. Pulls out. All right. There's that. Now, let's get the other side in. Okay, so we got the second part in. I had to make sure the compressor, these wires are long enough so I can move. I have some play and move around the compressor. This one is definitely too short, so I'm gonna have to extend these wires just so I could like run them through the back over there, because we're gonna be doing a simple setup this time. First, we're just gonna have the tank in the back and then the polish compressors. And then right here we have the new air tank that we're gonna be putting on. Look at that. Look at the comparison. This one's short, stubby, perfect for what we need, compared to this one that's slightly a little bit bigger. At least, yeah. Powder coated the same color as the wheels and engine bay, so it all matches up. All right, so this is basically gonna be the setup for now. I might just push these further out like this to the edge, and then I might end up putting the manifold somewhere right here in the middle. Get the manifold standing up right here. I don't know, I'm not sure. I might leave the manifold down below. I've heard that it's bad to leave the manifold under everything else, but I've never had an issue with it. George has it on his car. He's had it for what, 2 years now, and he's never had an issue with it. So we are gonna be trimming out the new floor for the down here, and I'm thinking of just wrapping that cherry blossom, some cherry blossom fabric or something that will look nice for the meantime. So that's the plan for now. We're gonna be cutting up the wood now, and then I had to do quite a bit of custom work to make this tank fit. So, you know, fittings on fittings. This one's gonna run, it's a 1/4 fitting because I don't have the bigger ones. And then I have this, where is it? Oh, this little coupling that's going to connect from the 1/4 and then make it bigger to the 3/8 to go into the manifold. So that's why I'm debating of just leaving the manifold down below, because of the fact that it's got so many fittings and little things like this that I need to use, and I'm just trying to have like that clean look, like how it is right there. All right, so we're gonna extend these 2 wires all the way to the back so the compressors could reach them, and then I'm gonna connect these 2 right here. All right, so trunk slowly cleaning up pretty good. Finally got this trim back on. Got the 2 wires for both sides for both compressors, and then that's literally all we need. And this line as well, it's good to go. So now we just got to go to Home Depot, buy some plywood, something strong, and then we're gonna cut it into the shape of this. At Home Depot, we got George with us. Gonna pick out the plywood that we need. We just need a 4x5 piece or 5x4 piece or 5x5, but let's see what we find. All right, guys, we got our plywood. Let's go. Let me get the mat real quick. I was gonna end up doing it in 3 pieces like I had it set up right here, but instead 2 pieces is a lot better. Slide over to one side. All right, so that should be good. Let's trace this thing out. All right, we got the table saw right here. We're gonna cut off all the big excess piece right here, and then we're gonna start trimming everything into shape. So not sure how I'm gonna do it with this big ass piece, but let's get to it, see how far we could get. And then once we have this all trimmed out, we're gonna split it right down the middle. I'm gonna measure from end to end, make sure it's smack dab in the middle, and then just cut it straight down. into shape already. So now all we have to do is just line it up, make sure it's perfectly measured from the middle, and then just cut it straight down. So that's what we're gonna do next. Let's measure this out, and then we'll get to cutting it straight down the middle, and then we'll fix up all the little jagged edges. And then we'll test fit this thing in the trunk, see how it goes. All right, so this is definitely a lot more complicated than I thought, but not too bad. So we got it split down right smack in the middle. At least I hope it is. All right, got it in. There we go. So now we just gotta trim, I would say, this top end a little bit just to make sure I have no issues up there. And then that should be it. Then we'll be able to slide in the air tank and compressor in the back, sand these down, and get them wrapped. All right, test fitting it again after it's been sanded down. Pretty good. And then that's where the tank and the compressor is going to be at. Then later on, if I do have a chance, I want to make like a little cutout right here, have the manifold like hold itself up against right here, and then just have the lines and the harness cable go in through right there, and just have the manifold up in the front. So later on we'll see about that, but for now this is pretty good. So let's get that wrapped. I'm not sure if I wanted to wrap it black suede or wrap it white, the same color as the car, and then wrap these white as well. And then I don't know, like, let's just get these done first, and then we'll see about that one. All right, after putting the seat back up, I realized that those two edges that like flap over that way are gonna have to go, or at least be cut down, because once I put the seat up, it warps everything out over, and it makes it a lot more tight than it should be. So gonna trim those edges off, and then we'll do it again. We're about to start wrapping. See that white with purple pearl, look at that. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully the wrap sticks to just the wood itself. And then I did try a smaller piece and it did work, but it takes off the wood with it once you peel it off. So I had to re-sand it down. So hopefully we get it pretty good on the first try. So far so good, no issues. We are taking it slow though, so I'm not peeling back the whole thing just yet, not until I know for sure I can lay it down without having to lift it back up, because I know as soon as I lift it back up, it's gonna be a mess, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. There we go. Should be good. Again, can't have it readjusted once it's laid in, because the wood is gonna splinter off with the wrap, and it's gonna cause a huge mess. So that's what we're trying to avoid. All right, there we have it. First piece laid in. Hell yeah. So now I'm just gonna trim it up, make sure everything's tucked around the edges, and then we'll throw this thing back on, and then we'll get the other one started. All right, so here we have it. We're starting the second piece. Should be fairly easy and simple as the last one. I did cut this piece a little bit too short by a little bit, but again, we shouldn't have any issues. Second piece all wrapped up, good to go. Let's trim it up, and then we'll throw it back in, and then we'll really get to see how it looks. All right, so there we have it. Floor looking nice. Get as tight as I can. But there you guys have it. That's how it's gonna look. And then later on we're gonna add this piece. I'm debating again if I should wrap this the same color as the car or change the color of it. I can't decide and then you know we're gonna have the tank. You better let me go get the tank real quick. All right, so this kind of gives you the idea right here. So definitely debating if I should make that black or wrap it white. Again, definitely not sure on what to do right there. I feel like most likely I am going to be wrapping it the same white so it matches. And then, you know, with the tank purple already, and then the compressor going to be polished, it kind of goes with the whole theme of the car from the exterior as well. So I probably don't have to worry too much about it. I am going to be adding an LED bulb, or not an LED bulb, LED light strip here to light up properly the tank, compressors, and that way you'll be able to see that the floor is actually, you know, wrapped the same color as the car, because it'll show that purple pearl reflection. So all right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap this same color, and then let's bolt on the tank, compressors, wire up the compressors, and then we should be done with our trunk setup for now. All right, so there we have it. Trunk setup just about done. You guys can see that white with purple on the bottom. For some reason it's looking pretty dark, but you guys can easily see the purple. So there we have it. Let's drill this on to the board. Drill these in, this in, and then we're gonna have to drill these in as well. I'm gonna mark these, drill it through, and then we'll put a nut and bolt through the bottom. All right, so there we have it. Trunk setup is done. You guys can see it has that little light on there, but we're going to be replacing that with an LED and then the LED strip that goes across, so it should light this up pretty well. But now that we have everything done, compressors are wired up, let's start the car and make sure this actually works and we're not leaking any air from anywhere, but hopefully we don't. Compressors going, cold startup. Send me that too. That definitely a lot better than what it was. If you guys remember the other one, it's definitely so much cleaner than having that big mess in the back. But all right, so we have this LED kit right here. These stripes, so it should be bright enough to light up under here. So we're gonna put one on the top up here and the other one right here, and then we're gonna wire them to that bulb right there. I'm gonna replace that bulb either with an LED one or maybe even just take it out in general, and that way every time I open up the trunk these turn on instead. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Pretty simple, easy to do. All you literally have to do is these guys have it wired up to this battery. So I guess, you know, this is some cheap LEDs from AutoZone, and all you really need double-sided tape, so that's how they're gonna stick on there. I'm literally gonna put one above each compressor, kind of like that. Something like that, yeah, like something right there. One on each side should be good. Sheesh. Look at that. So we are back from the show, and I wanted to show you guys how I added this decal from Lowered Empire. Damn. Look at that. The LEDs, super bright. Finished product right here, guys. Yep. That's going to be the end of today's video, guys. I hope this video was really informative and helps you guys build your own trunk setup. You don't need a table saw like I use. You could definitely use like a hand saw if necessary, or any kind of saw. You know, it's all about just cutting it into shape with whatever you guys can. But table saw, you know, it was here, so that's what I used. That's why I used that one. So, but again, thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.